Today I'll show you 3 rye loaves that didn't make it into Panasonic's latest manual. 2 of them worked out well for me, and 1 not so much. I'm using rye and white flour just because I've made a lot of 100% rye loaves recently and they taste really good, but they are dense and heavy and I just fancy something a bit lighter for the weekend. Rye paddle. Apparently this one helps to turn the flour, whereas this one's more for kneading. 250 grams of rye flour, 250 white, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 teaspoons of salt. For the liquid, you're supposed to use half stout and half water, and I believe that's because alcohol can inhibit the yeast. But because I'm using non-alcoholic stout, I can just use the full 100%. Now the rye and white loaf needs 360 ml of water, but I know from baking lots of these loaves, I need to drop that by 20 ml to 340. So that is what I've got here. The can gave me 336 and I topped it up with 4 ml of water. Yeah, it smells nice. I don't drink stout. By the way, the loaf doesn't taste strongly of stout. It just sort of adds to the flavour, but you don't eat it thinking, stout. Oh, I'm gonna have to get footage of this. It goes all lovely and bubbly. Into the bread maker. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of yeast, but again, I found that reducing that to 1.5 makes for a better loaf. Menu 12. Bit of a dome on this one. Ooh. Quite a nice shape overall, especially for a rye loaf. Oh, making a big hole in the bread. Now for rye and wholemeal. 250 grams of rye flour and 250 grams of strong wholemeal. Sugar, oil and salt as before, recipes in the description, and 360 ml of water. Into the bread maker, and 3.5 hours later, we have a loaf. The shape really resembles a 100% rye loaf. Really happy with these 2. This one is 100% rye with seeds, and I honestly don't know what happened. It could absolutely be user error. I have made 100% rye loaves recently, and they generally turn out fine. The only difference is that this one has 10 ml less water and 8 tablespoons of seeds. So I do wonder if the seeds contributed. And interestingly, in the new Panasonic manual, there is a seeded loaf in there, 5 different seeds, and the bigger ones like sunflower and pumpkin, they go into the raisin and nut dispenser. So the ingredients get a bit of a mix and then the bigger seeds go in. And I just wondered, does that help with the rise? But anyway, 2 out of 3, not bad. If you've got any recommendations or requests, do let me know because that can be quite a good way to discover new recipes. All right, let's slice into these. Rye and stout has a crispy crust and a pleasing shape. Rye and wholemeal is slightly more compact, but has a good crust too. And we can't forget poor seeded rye. It's so dense. Oh, sorry, little rye loaf, you're going in the bin. We can't eat too much because we're going out for dinner tonight. Is it just me or is there not much in it?
I was going to ask if this is the one with stout. Oh, I can taste the difference, but I have always been a super taster. Perfectly nice. I think the one with stout's nicer.
The rye and wholemeal won't be as light because of the wholemeal flour, but it will be full of fibre. And it is good with things like scrambled eggs or creamy things. No, the texture's all wrong.
I don't think that's got a lot going for it.
Thank you very much.
One more bite.
Oh, no, you'll regret it. Well, I think that was a good experiment. Let me know which of the loaves you would make. Of course, we're not including this one. And do subscribe for more bread maker content and just general cooking bits and reviews and so on. Thank you for watching.